At the start of the manga, we see that someone is taking the name of our main character. We see that it is a girl in a maid costume. Our main character introduces her as the most beautiful girl in her classroom. She says to her main character as a token of gratitude she will become his maid, and says furthermore she will do everything that the main character asks, whether it's cooking, cleaning, she said she can even wash his body while bathing, or anything else that he wants. She says for 1 billion yen she is his to order. She said that she will become the maid of his dream. Let's step back in time a little bit. We see our main character who is walking down the aisle in his own school. He is saying that even if it's been only a few months since high school has started, he has no friends, no girlfriend, and he has run away from his home to live single. We see that he bumps into a girl whose name is Akiho. The girl asked him if he has something to say, and if he doesn't, he should not talk to her. As she said that she ran away, the main character introduces her as his childhood friend who hates him. So does the main character think, as he says that a book pens from the pocket of our main character. We see that it's Maya Kamishiro, the prettiest girl in the school. She looks familiar, doesn't she? She brings to the attention that he dropped the book, and the main character says thank you to her. She says that the book looks interesting, on which the main character reacts, does it really? She asked the main character, does he like maids? I missed. The main character said yes. She, with a gentle smile, says we are in the same class, right, and she always wanted to talk to him. She always sees him reading alone and it worries her a bit. The main character apologized for being a loner, on which the girl said that there is nothing wrong about being a loner. Enjoying alone time is also wonderful, don't you think so? On which the main character says, you are different. Is the first time someone like you have told me that. The girl thinks of it and says everyone tells her that she's different. They call her absent-minded and clumsy. She says that she thinks it's a bit rude, don't you think so? As she's leaving, she says to her main character that after he reads the book he should lend it to her because she is getting interested in the book. We see as the girl leaves, the main character says to himself, it seems like he is not meant to be close to her. As the main character is going towards his house, he hears a voice and he sees that someone is trying to impose force upon the girl he met at the school. We see as the main character sees it, he ran towards them and says that he will call the police. The girl, as she sees him beg for help, he asks what's wrong, on which the guys who were trying to kidnap the girl says that this is none of his business. They say that the parent of this girl fled the country leaving a debt of 1 billion yen. Although this has nothing to do with their daughter, the father said that he would hand over. Oh, as the payment for the debt, he said if you intend to interfere, you will have to deal with us too, on which the girl cried and says to the main character he does not have to get involved in this. Hearing this, the main character laughs a bit. He says, don't worry, he'll be fine. The man with the black glasses says, what is wrong with him? In fact, just being a kid, you have this kind of bravery. On which the main character pulls out his pendant which looks like a compass or a clock. As the kidnappers see the pendant, they recognize it as the Niju family's seizure of assets. The main character finally introduced himself as the one and only successor of the Niju family. When the kidnappers hear this, they are in a stature. They said that the family he's talking about is one of the leading families in Japan. They run businesses in all fields, from real estate to banks, to trading companies, manufacturing, railways, in every sector. The main character says, you know it's not wise to mess with us, right? My family has influence in the world of organized crime. As he says that, he wrote a check and gave it to the person. He said if you are here for adapt, I will take care of it. You have no obligations, right? As he settles the check, he said that Kamishiro-san, I will handle this all. As he handles the situation, we see that they are now heading towards home, on which the girl asks why did he step in and help her with an amount of 1 billion yen. The main character says that 1 billion yen is just like pennies for him and he does not have anything to spend it on. The girl says that she heard that he comes from a very wealthy family, but she didn't know that his family was one of the top families in Japan. The main character says, well now I live in my house alone. He earns money, his own money, and has invested in stocks and funds. He says that his father remarried and he has a stepmother and a stepsister and the living situation has become uncomfortable in his house, on which the girl says that she can understand what he's been through as she had been through a similar situation. She said to the main character that she will repay for what he has done for her even if it takes her a lifetime, on which the main character says, don't worry, it is not your fault. The girl said to him that he is kind, but when he said 1 billion yen is when his for him it made her feel uncomfortable. We see that the main character is thinking that this girl is smarter than her looks. She thanks her main character for his help and walks with him. As the main character comes at a turn, he says bye to the girl, but as he's leaving, we see the face of the girl getting darker, on which the main character asks her what is wrong with her. Now the girl finally realized that if her parents had fled then she does not have anywhere to go, as her house and everything she had has been seized. The main character says that he understands and he can arrange a place for her to live, on which the girl says no, he has done enough compared to the 1 billion yen, it's nothing but getting it immediately is difficult, this is what our main character says, on which the girl says no thank you. Our main character suggests her that in that case how about she stays at a friend's house, on which the girl says that she does not have many close friends, on which our main character is a bit surprised, but she got the idea in her head. She says with all slightly blushed but simple face that the main character is also her friend and she can share his house, and she asked with a broad smile and a blushy face, could the main character let her stay at his house, on which the main character says, are you sure? The girl thought that perhaps it would be a bother for him to let her stay for free, on which the main character says no, that is not the reason. The main character, as he was wondering about what to do, the girl sees a supermarket and she has a brilliant idea. She nightly holds our main character's hand and asks him to come with her for a moment as she drags our main character into the store. She picks up something to address from what it looks like, and she says that she's going to try this one and he should wait here. As she is going in the dressing room, she says not to look, on which the main character acknowledged. As she is changing, the main character is breathless. As she comes out of the dressing room, we see that she is now changed into a uniform of a beautiful maid. As the main character sees the dress and blushes, the girl asks the main character, didn't he like maids? So what does he think about it? She says, what if you hire me as your personal maid? We see the scene of our main character's house. He says to himself that he couldn't refuse her request and at the end he has to bring her home. As our little maid looks around the house, our main character apologizes for the mess. She said that it doesn't bother her as her job is to clean up the house anyway. The main character says, are you really willing to be my maid? On which the girl says yes. The girl says, since you brought me home, it means you'll hire me, right? The main character says it's not like he has denied that. The girl says, if you kick me out I will have to spend the night outside, and we see a dream of the girl how she is sleeping under a slide and people are running away thinking that she's a ghost. Finally acknowledging her as the maid, the main character says she can stay at his house. The girl thanks him and this is how Kamishiro-san became a maid in my house. We now return to the future as the maid is saying that for the token of gratitude she will become his maid and serve him, whether it's cooking, cleaning, or even washing his body or anything. She says for 1 billion yen she will become his and his alone. She promises her main character that she will be his ideal mate. She said using the bath might be a bit embarrassing at first. As it is getting late, she should start from making the bed. The main character thinks a bit and says, right, there is only one bed here, where will you sleep, Kamishiro-san? The main character, as he opens the door of the bedroom, says that even if this place is very big, there are not so many furniture and only one bed because he lives alone on his property. The maid ponders what to do. Our main character says that he will sleep on the sofa, on which the maid said no, that is not okay. This is your house, and you are the master. The main character, seeing her face, says that on the other hand, it is not right for her to sleep on the sofa, on which the maid gives us a suggestion that since the bed is big enough, they could sleep together, right? On which our main character gets a shock. Thank you for watching. Part 2 is coming soon, so leave a like and subscribe.